Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is Astral Sorcery, the Ritual Pedestal. For those that recall, I may have already covered the Ritual Pedestal, but I didn't cover it in its entirety, and I still am not going to cover it 100%, but I am going to cover it a lot more thoroughly than I had before. Before, when I had mentioned how it acts similar to a vanilla Minecraft beacon, that is correct, and those things that I did show you before were actually what was happening. But there are more effects than what I was actually discussing. If you see here, there's a Ritual Pedestal, currently with an attuned rock crystal on it. And in fact, let me look up here which one we have here. We currently have, not Dissidia, it is Avitas, I believe. Yes, it is Avitas, is currently what is on here. And that one gives you your Regeneration 2 effect and a constant radius around here. Now, it does actually have a secondary effect. And of course, that regen effect will affect any mobs or animals nearby. It will also grow plants and crops that are planted nearby. Now, I do have an attunement currently going on in my perks that will allow for a green thumb plants around me grow a bit faster, but that's within like a 2-block radius. That's not going to reach all the way over there, which actually I can reach over there if I so desire. Check this out, it's pretty cool. That's part of the attunement. If I can actually aim at the block properly, there we go, I can plant. Now, the idea is this will actually search in an area, and it will look for crops that are planted in tilled earth. And if it finds one, it will remember where that is. And it may take some time before it actually starts finding these items. And it will then start slowly over time fertilizing these. Now, of course, I can fertilize things as well by being near them. So if I stand here and this is going and I am going, we're kind of getting like a double fertilizer effect. Now, I'm not going to stand over there the entire video and show you guys that benefit, but that is one of the benefits you can get from putting in an attuned rock crystal, specifically Avitas. The next one we're going to be covering is Armara. Now this one, if you remember properly, we put it in place. You get yourself a resistance effect, which on its own is really, really nice, but it also has some secondary effects. Besides pushing mobs away, which currently this guy would be pushed further away, but I have him kind of blocked in underneath there, so he can't really get too far. But he is being pushed back against that back wall. If I were to knock some blocks away behind him, he would get pushed away. Here's somebody coming up right now. Yeah, he can't make it because he's being pushed away. So that is one of the benefits, the other one being resistance. But there's actually a further one. Actually, there's two. One is it will stop mobs from spawning in a small radius, probably about like 16 or so blocks. I mean, that's just kind of an estimation that is not an accurate number. But it does have another effect on top of that. Let me change my game mode to survival. The skeleton should start attacking me, therefore, as soon as he recognizes that I'm here. And with that, you'll see, oh, what happened there? There are some effects going on with these projectiles. They are being reflected. So it's kind of like a protective field effect, and it's very entertaining as well. I do like that it's kind of reflecting those. So it pushes enemies, grants resistance to anybody or any entities in the nearby area, and also give them, sometimes they might make it through. It will help deflect projectiles, and it also will help stop mob spawning in a small radius to this crystal. And once again, that was Armara. And what I did have correct last time was Dissidia. That one was pretty much one of my favorites there, where it pushes enemies back as well as damages them in a small radius. Now, if I kind of grab some more spiders here and I start putting them down, you'll start seeing that they get pushed away and start taking damage. Of course, the bigger the crystal, the better the effect. It's pretty much going to be the same for most of these cases. And once again, that was Dissidia. And of course, Viseo, if you remember last time, gave a speed bonus and a jump boost, which I already have a jump boost added on, so this is kind of double stacking. I'm jumping like 6 blocks high right now, or 5 blocks. It's pretty ridiculous. But I had like a 2-block jump before, so now I've got jump 2, speed boost 2. So I'm moving pretty darn fast, especially if you stack that with other attunements that you might have that grant speed bonus. speed bonuses with that. So that is actually all there is to this one. It is fairly mundane, but I mean, heck, you could easily put this around a base and, you know, you get yourself and whatever else, some jump boost and speed boost very easily. And once again, that was Viseo. Now we get into a few of the later constellations, namely Mineralis, Ochtens, Boots, and Lucerna. I'm not exactly sure if that's how they're pronounced, but that's how I'm pronouncing them for now. First up, we're going to go with Mineralis, which, if you leave stone, just regular Minecraft stone, if that's within a nearby radius of this, very slowly over time, it will convert them into ores, as you see here. Now, I have some other mods in here, so it will just randomly take those that are applicable to the area and start applying them to the stone as if they were spawning in naturally. Of course, it will start grouping them together if you don't have much stone nearby, and it will take a lot of time unless you have enhanced your ritual pedestal in some way, shape, or form. Once again, that was Mineralis. And here we have Ochtens. Now this one here is very unique and compared to the others. I currently already have it in place here, and it searches for water blocks that are nearby. And you'll notice here it's giving some little sparkles. Over time it will start, you know, finding the water source blocks, which it's currently, like I said before, very slow to do this, but it will fish for you. So it's really interesting in that aspect. In the future, it is expected that you will also get a water breathing potion effect as well in future updates. So currently just know that you can have this thing fishing for you passively, and you can see it has detected another water block and is starting to do so over here. And there you go, just like that, a fish popped up out of the water. And this one here is Boots, or Booties, depending on how you want to say it. But this one, it has a special property here. You see, I've got a bunch of cows standing on top of a bunch of hoppers, all directed into this chest, which is empty. Nothing going on there, right? Well, you put down your attuned rock crystal with Boots, and of course I've got it slightly enhanced just a little bit so that it kind of speeds things up a little. And over time, they will start dropping their respective drops, resources, whether it be, in this case, beef. They'll start getting beef. That's right. I killed a cow up there. Just ignore those ones. It was just wandering free. But they will also drop things like leather. So you can use this for other animals as well. As you can see, there's a couple more coming in. You can use it for like chickens or other passive mobs and so on. It's pretty darn cool that you can get this to you know, work for your entities to drop the things that you want without having to actually kill them. And as you can see there, some leather just came in as well. I mean, it's currently focusing more on the beef than it is the leather, but I mean, it is a much more common resource than the leather is. And anyway, now this works for animals. It does not work for things like skeletons or creepers or whatever, so you can't exactly use a mob grindy type way to get those those drops without killing. In this case, though, you just need a few cows or at least one of every animal type that you want, some hoppers, and a chest, and you can get all sorts of drops from these things without ever having to kill them, fight them, hurt them, or anything like that. Just got to be careful that you don't have too much spawn into the world. And once again, this one was Boots. Here we have Lucerna. This one here is very unique and can be extremely beneficial, especially around your base of operations. Something that I probably should have had running this entire time so I don't get blown up by creepers. Now, of course, Lucerna is one of the more advanced ones, as was Boots and so on. But you can find those as well, you know, looking around in the sky. And by putting it down in here, you notice it's actually really quiet because recently I already had used it. Well, it stops mob spawning in a very large area. You notice on my mini-map, I don't have any dots. There's no red dots. It can actually be configured as well to prevent all entity spawning if you so desire. Therefore, if you accidentally built your base in a slime chunk, you could feasibly shut those out as well. You just need to kind of configure it that way. But to give an example, I mean, I have a spider egg. Let's just spawn one. Oh, hey, look at that. Not happening. Now, I did accidentally have it set on peaceful mode, but you can see that there are mobs spawning nearby, but they are not within range of us. This is actually quite a good distance, so therefore they're probably about, oh, I don't know, There you go. There's the distance there from the shrine. So you got about like a 32 to 64 block. I could probably just let's put a marker here and see just about how far that is, shall we? Let's add a new waypoint, new, save, and then we can actually fly over here and see just how far that is from one of the nearest mobs. This one here is about here-ish, and that is about 56 blocks away. So that gives you a good idea of about the range. I mean, that's just kind of a general right there. The mob could have walked closer or further, etc. I mean, I've got one over here as well that I can see that is a little bit closer. That looks like he probably walked in. Yeah, that's 46 meters. But he looks like he walked a little bit closer. But you get the idea that this is a very good spawn protection area. It can also stop passive mobs, like I said. You just need to configure it to do so, and it can be very useful. Now, if you want to continue with this, you use this with another crystal that may also push mobs away if they get too close, but you could always have just a few of these around the base, on the four corners or something like that, and you've got yourself all set with some of this. Now, of course, I could always advance it so that it gets a little bit more of a buff and prevents more mobs spawning nearby. Of course, I can spawn critters myself manually if I so desired. You know, they can actually walk through this area. They don't get pushed away like some of the other ones, but it will prevent them from just spawning like just outside your front door or something like that. And this one, once again, was Lucerna. For this next one, I have it maximized currently with quite a lot of additional bonuses, but it is currently Orolo Geom, which is kind of a secretive constellation. It's very rare, very difficult to find, and it's something that I'll leave to you folks to try and locate. It's actually got some secrets behind it. In fact, if you look at its current, where is it, the constellation here, you take a look at it. It doesn't have any moon phases. It's a special scenario. But with that in mind, I can still show off what it's going to do. It's going to advance time and space. Well, more time, less space. But currently, what it will do is slowly advance time on things nearby. Now let's take a look at this furnace. You'll see that it's running, and it kind of jumps every now and then. It goes pretty darn fast, and this affects just about everything in a certain radius of it. You'll notice that there are these little blue glowy bits going on with these hoppers here. There's nothing in the chest now, but let's just kind of dump all these stacks of stone, take a look at them coming in, and these are just vanilla hoppers, but you'll notice that sometimes it speeds up, other times it goes back to normal speed, and then it speeds up again. Well, that's pretty much what it's doing. Now, I have an effect on me right now with my perks that basically green thumb, plants around me grow a bit faster. Here, let's actually do passive mending too. But I haven't been close enough to actually start growing these. I just put a bunch of light sources nearby so that they would grow. But they have been growing faster over time because they're also affected. So it's basically a speed up mechanism in a radius close to this. So it can be really, really powerful. But once again, very difficult to find and obtain this sneaky constellation in the sky. And that was Orolo Geom. I hope you guys enjoyed this bit by bit on Astral Sorcery and how best to use your ritual pedestal, or at least the different benefits that you can gain by putting these things around your base or just in different areas of the world as best that you see fit. So, if you enjoyed this video, please give a like. Don't forget to comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and spread the mischief to others if you think they'll enjoy this content too. Till next time, folks, I'll see ya.